Hi, I'm Susan Gierhart, and this is Destini Ramsey, and we're going to talk a little bit about applied mindfulness.
So when I think about applied mindfulness, there is an element to that that can't be ignored, and that's listening to your body. How in the world do I know if I need to be mindful about what's going on if I have no idea whether or not I'm anxious or sad or mad or tired or hungry? I mean, how are you going to fix the problem if you have no idea what your body's telling you?
Exactly. A lot of times I will teach my students at school who will often come to me and tell me that they're feeling anxious, and I'll ask them, well, what do you mean? What's going on? And they'll say, I don't know. I'm just anxious. And so I'll look at them and I'll say, well, what is your body telling you? How does your body feel? And it's very difficult to get them to understand that to deal with their anxiety, they have to first listen to their body and take note of what's going on. What's happening in their body when they first start feeling anxious.
And we see that a lot of times even with adults, as we know we feel bad, but we don't know what that means or what feels bad. I mean, anxiety and sadness and anger and all these things, they have physical effects on our body, but we couldn't tell you whether it was our head or our stomach. We just know that we don't like how we're feeling. And so take time to assess that. I feel anxious, and I know that because my stomach is in knots and my heart is racing and I can't breathe. Okay, we're gonna stop and take some deep breaths and become mindful of what's going on around us and what our body is feeling, and then we go from there.
Yeah, I like to have my clients close their eyes, take some deep breaths, listen to what's going on around them. Notice, does your head hurt? Is it your neck that's hurting? Is it a stomach ache? Tell me what sounds they hear. Do they hear pulsing in their head? Do they hear a flooding sound? Are their hands hot or tingly? And just to get them to get a sense of what their body is feeling so that they again can become mindful of what their body's reaction is to stress and anxiety.
Something I hear a lot of times is I ask people or they'll tell me, I don't know what mindfulness is, or I'll say, have you been mindful? And they're like, deer in the headlights, look. Mindfulness doesn't have to be the thought of like crossing your legs and closing your eyes with the little circles on your, it doesn't have to be that. Mindfulness is just noticing what is happening around you and in you. And so it doesn't have to be much more than that, because mindfulness is supposed to tell you how to respond to whatever is happening within you. And so anxiety, you breathe. If I'm sad, you can figure out, okay, what have I lost? Sadness would imply that you've lost something, and you can work through that from there. But we have to first identify with some emotional regulation, what am I feeling? And then how do I go from there? But mindfulness doesn't have to be this big, long, in this room, quiet, elaborate thing. I can do it while I'm driving. I can do it in line at the grocery store. I can do it in a job interview. I'm just taking time to take care of myself, and you have to do that.
Deep breathing, hydration,
Sleep.
and sleep. Yeah.
If you need any help with figuring out what in the world you're feeling, what your body's doing, and any of those things, applied mindfulness,
Give us a call.
Give